Imagine waking up every single morning feeling like you barely slept. Your energy is gone. Your motivation has vanished. You look in the mirror and the man staring back at you looks older, heavier, and more tired than you ever expected. You tell yourself it's just aging. You tell yourself it's normal. But here's the truth most men never hear. What if it's not just aging? What if there's something happening inside your body right now? Something quietly stealing your strength, your mood, your sharpness, and even your confidence, and you have absolutely no idea. Gentlemen, what I'm about to share with you today could honestly change the next chapter of your life. Stay with me. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we focus on real, honest health information, especially for men and women over 40, 50, 60, and beyond. And today, we're tackling a subject that millions of men are silently struggling with, but very few are willing to talk about openly. We're talking about low testosterone. Now, before you think this is just about what happens in the bedroom, let me stop you right there. Low testosterone affects so much more than that. We're talking about your heart health, your bone strength, your mental clarity, your weight, your mood, even your risk of serious diseases like diabetes and osteoporosis. Here's a number that might surprise you. After the age of 30, a man's testosterone levels begin to decline by roughly 1 to 2% every single year. That might not sound like much, but by the time you're 50, 60, or 70 years old, that decline has added up significantly. Some studies estimate that nearly 40% of men over the age of 45 have testosterone levels that are clinically low, 40%. And here's the real problem. Most of those men have no idea. They chalk up their symptoms to just getting older. They push through the fatigue. They accept the weight gain. They silently deal with the mood changes. And they never once think to ask their doctor about their hormone levels. That changes today. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the key warning signs of low testosterone that men over 40 absolutely must not ignore. I'll explain each one in plain, simple language, no confusing medical jargon, I promise. And more importantly, I'll share practical steps you can actually take to protect yourself. So if you're a man over 40, or if you love someone who is, please keep watching. This could be one of the most important health videos you'll ever see. And do me a quick favor before we dive in. If you find this information helpful at any point during this video, tap that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss our weekly health updates. It's completely free, and it helps us reach more people who need this information. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with the sign that probably affects men the most, and the one they dismiss the fastest. Fatigue. Deep, heavy, unrelenting fatigue. Now, I'm not talking about being tired after a long day of yard work, or after chasing your grandkids around the park. That's normal. That's healthy tiredness. I'm talking about waking up after 7 or 8 hours of sleep and still feeling completely drained. I'm talking about that bone-deep exhaustion that hits you by 10 in the morning and never really goes away, no matter how much coffee you drink or how many naps you take. Many men over 40, especially men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, experience this and just assume, well, I guess this is what getting old feels like. But here's what most people don't realize. Testosterone plays a critical role in your body's energy production. It influences how your cells produce and use energy at the most fundamental level. When your testosterone drops too low, your entire system slows down. It's like trying to run a powerful engine on an almost empty fuel tank. So if you've been feeling exhausted for weeks or months and rest doesn't seem to fix it, don't just accept it. Pay attention. This could be your body's very first warning signal. Here's another one that catches men off guard. Unexplained weight gain, especially around the belly. You haven't really changed your diet. You're eating more or less what you've always eaten, but suddenly the pounds are creeping on, especially around your midsection. Your belt feels tighter. Your shirts fit differently, and no matter what you try, that belly just keeps growing. Sound familiar? Low testosterone has a direct relationship with how your body stores fat. When testosterone levels fall, your body becomes much more efficient at storing fat, particularly visceral fat, which is the dangerous fat that wraps around your internal organs in your abdominal area. But here's where it gets really tricky. This creates a vicious cycle. You see, fat cells, especially belly fat cells, contain an enzyme called aromatase. What aromatase does is convert your remaining testosterone into estrogen. Yes, estrogen, the hormone we typically associate with women. So the less testosterone you have, the more belly fat you gain. And the more belly fat you gain, the more of your remaining testosterone gets converted into estrogen. It's a downward spiral that feeds on itself. This is why so many men over 50 and 60 find it incredibly difficult to lose weight even when they're trying hard. It's not always about willpower or discipline. Sometimes the hormonal environment inside your body is literally working against you. If this sounds like your situation, you owe it to yourself to get your levels checked. Now, gentlemen, this next one is a big one, and I want you to really listen carefully here. Mood changes, irritability, and even depression. Have you noticed that you're more irritable than you used to be? That little things that never used to bother you now set you off? Maybe your wife or your family members have pointed out that you seem grumpier, more withdrawn, or just not yourself. Or maybe it goes deeper than that. Maybe you've been feeling genuinely sad, hopeless, disconnected from the things and the people you used to enjoy. Maybe you've lost interest in hobbies, in socializing, in activities that once brought you real joy. Many men, and I want to emphasize this, many men experience these emotional changes and never connect them to a physical cause. They think they're just stressed. They think they're just going through a rough patch. Or worse, they feel embarrassed and don't talk about it at all. But here's the medical reality. Testosterone has a profound effect on brain chemistry. It influences the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. These are the chemicals in your brain that regulate mood, motivation, and feelings of well-being. When testosterone drops, these brain chemicals can become imbalanced, and the result can look and feel remarkably similar to clinical depression. In fact, research has shown that men with low testosterone are significantly more likely to be diagnosed with depression. And here's the heartbreaking part. Some of these men are put on antidepressants when what they actually need is a hormone evaluation. I'm not saying that depression is always caused by low testosterone. It's not. Depression is complex and has many causes. But if you're a man over 40 and you've been experiencing unexplained mood changes, please ask your doctor to check your testosterone levels. It could save you years of unnecessary suffering. Now let's talk about something you might have already noticed but haven't connected to this issue: decreased muscle mass and physical strength. Remember when you could open a tight jar lid without thinking twice? When carrying groceries from the car felt effortless? When you had that natural physical strength that you just took for granted? If you've noticed that you're getting weaker, that tasks that used to be easy now leave your muscles fatigued and sore, low testosterone could be a major contributing factor. Testosterone is one of the primary hormones responsible for building and maintaining muscle mass. It stimulates something called protein synthesis, which is simply the process your body uses to repair and build muscle tissue. When testosterone levels decline, your body gradually loses its ability to maintain muscle. You might notice your arms getting thinner, your legs feeling less stable, your grip getting weaker. And because muscle tissue also plays a role in supporting your metabolism, losing muscle means you burn fewer calories at rest, which circles right back to that unexplained weight gain we talked about earlier. For men over 60 and 70, this loss of muscle mass, doctors call it sarcopenia, becomes particularly dangerous. Weaker muscles mean a greater risk of falls, a greater risk of fractures, a greater risk of losing your independence. And while some muscle loss with aging is expected, the rate and severity of that loss can be dramatically influenced by your testosterone levels. Here's one that many people, including some doctors, overlook: poor sleep and insomnia. If you're tossing and turning at night, waking up multiple times, or just never feeling like you get truly restful sleep, low testosterone might be playing a role. The relationship between testosterone and sleep is actually a two-way street. Your body produces most of its testosterone during deep sleep, particularly during what's called REM sleep, which is the deepest, most restorative phase of your sleep cycle. So when you don't sleep well, your testosterone production drops. And when your testosterone is already low, it disrupts your sleep quality even further. Once again, we see that vicious cycle at work. Many men over 40 who struggle with insomnia or restless sleep are completely unaware that a hormonal imbalance could be the underlying cause. They try melatonin, they try sleeping pills, they try white noise machines, and while those things might help a little, they're treating the symptom, not the root cause. If you've been battling sleep problems and nothing seems to work, this is another important reason to have a conversation with your healthcare provider about your hormone levels. Now, I want to pause right here for just a moment. If you're watching this video and you've been nodding along, if 2 or 3 of these signs sound like they describe exactly what you've been going through, I want you to know something important. You are not alone. Millions of men are dealing with this very same thing, and there is absolutely no shame in it. Low testosterone is not a reflection of your manhood or your worth. It's a medical condition, just like high blood pressure or high cholesterol, and it can be evaluated, managed, and in many cases significantly improved. If you're over 40, over 50, over 60, or if you're caring for a husband, a father, or a grandfather, this information could genuinely be life-changing, maybe even life-saving. So please, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You might be the reason they finally decide to get checked. All right. Let's continue. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Have you found yourself struggling to concentrate on a book, a conversation, or even a television show? Have you noticed that your thinking feels slower, cloudier, less sharp than it used to be? Many men over 40 experience what's commonly called brain fog, this frustrating sense that your mind just isn't as quick or clear as it once was. And while some cognitive changes are a natural part of aging, testosterone actually plays a significant role in brain function. It supports memory formation. It supports focus. It supports what neurologists call executive function, which is your ability to plan, organize, and make decisions. Studies have even shown a correlation between low testosterone and an increased risk of developing cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease later in life. So that brain fog you've been dismissing, that forgetfulness you've been joking about, it might deserve more serious attention than you've been giving it. Now here's one that almost nobody talks about when it comes to men: bone health. We tend to think of osteoporosis, that's the condition where bones become thin, weak, and fragile, as something that primarily affects women. And while it is more common in women, men are far from immune. In fact, 1 in 4 men over the age of 50 will experience an osteoporosis-related fracture in their lifetime. Testosterone is essential for maintaining bone density. It helps stimulate the cells that build new bone tissue. When testosterone levels drop significantly, your bones can become thinner and more brittle over time. This is particularly dangerous for older men because a hip fracture or a spinal fracture after age 65 can have devastating consequences. It can lead to hospitalization, surgery, long recovery periods, loss of mobility, and in some cases, it can even be fatal. If you've experienced a fracture from a minor fall or impact, something that shouldn't have been enough to break a bone, low testosterone and bone density loss could be a contributing factor. This is something worth discussing with your doctor, and a simple bone density scan can provide important answers. This last sign is perhaps the most subtle, but in many ways, the most heartbreaking. Decreased motivation and drive. Have you lost your drive? Your ambition, that fire inside you that used to push you to build things, to create things, to pursue goals and dreams. Maybe you used to love working on projects around the house. Maybe you had plans to travel, or to start a new hobby, or to learn something new in retirement. But now you just can't seem to find the motivation. Everything feels like too much effort. The spark is gone. Testosterone doesn't just affect your body. It profoundly influences your psychology, your sense of purpose, your competitive drive, your desire to engage with life fully and actively. When testosterone drops, many men describe feeling like they're just going through the motions. They're existing, but they're not really living. And that feeling can be incredibly isolating, especially when the people around you don't understand what's happening. If this resonates with you, please hear me when I say this. This is not a character flaw. This is not laziness. This is not weakness. This could very well be a hormonal issue that is treatable. So now that we've covered the warning signs, let's talk about what you can actually do about this, because knowledge without action doesn't help anyone. First, get tested. This is the most important step. A simple blood test can measure your testosterone levels. It's quick, it's painless, and it gives you and your doctor real data to work with. Ask your doctor specifically for a total testosterone test and a free testosterone test. These are two different measurements, and both are important. The best time to have this test done is in the morning, ideally between 7 and 10 a.m., because that's when testosterone levels are naturally at their highest. Second, take a hard look at your lifestyle. There are several things that are scientifically proven to support healthy testosterone levels naturally. Regular exercise, particularly resistance training and weightlifting, has been shown to boost testosterone, and you don't need to become a bodybuilder. Even moderate strength training 2 to 3 times a week can make a meaningful difference. Sleep matters enormously. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night. Create a consistent bedtime routine. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Limit screens before bed. Nutrition plays a role too. Focus on whole foods, lean proteins, healthy fats like olive oil and nuts, plenty of vegetables, and foods rich in zinc and vitamin D, both of which are important for testosterone production. Manage your stress. Chronic stress raises a hormone called cortisol, and elevated cortisol directly suppresses testosterone production. Find healthy ways to manage stress, whether that's walking, prayer, meditation, time in nature, or simply spending time with people who make you feel good. Maintain a healthy weight. As we discussed earlier, excess body fat, especially belly fat, actively works against your testosterone levels. Even losing 10 to 15 pounds can have a noticeable positive impact. Limit alcohol consumption. Excessive alcohol has been shown to lower testosterone levels and interfere with the hormonal systems that regulate its production. Third, talk to your doctor about treatment options if needed. If your levels are clinically low, your doctor may discuss testosterone replacement therapy, which is commonly called TRT. This can come in various forms: gels, patches, injections, or pellets. Each has its own benefits and considerations, and your doctor can help you determine what's right for your specific situation. TRT is not right for everyone, and it does carry some risks that need to be carefully weighed. But for many men with genuinely low levels, it can be absolutely transformative, restoring energy, mood, strength, mental clarity, and overall quality of life. One thing I want to be very clear about: please do not try to self-diagnose or self-treat this condition. Don't order testosterone supplements from the internet without medical guidance. Don't assume that because your buddy is taking something, it's safe for you too. Every man's body is different. Every man's health history is different. Work with a qualified healthcare provider who can evaluate your complete picture, your symptoms, your blood work, your medical history, and your personal health goals. This is about being smart and proactive, not reckless. All right, gentlemen, let's bring it all together. Today we covered the critical warning signs of low testosterone that men over 40 must not ignore. Constant, unexplained fatigue that rest doesn't fix, unexplained weight gain, especially around the belly, mood changes, irritability, anxiety or depression, loss of muscle mass and physical strength, poor sleep quality and insomnia, brain fog, forgetfulness and difficulty concentrating, bone density loss and unexpected fractures, and a deep loss of motivation, drive, and passion for life. If you recognize yourself in even 2 or 3 of these signs, please take action. Not tomorrow, not next month, soon. Make the call, schedule the appointment, get the blood test. Because here's what I truly believe with all my heart: getting older does not have to mean giving up. It does not have to mean accepting a lesser quality of life. It does not have to mean watching yourself fade. You have spent decades building a life, caring for others, working hard, and showing up. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel sharp. You deserve to feel like yourself. And the beautiful truth is, in many cases, the right diagnosis and the right steps can help you feel 10, 15, even 20 years younger than you feel right now. That's not an exaggeration. That's what proper hormone health can do. So don't ignore the signs. Don't suffer in silence. And don't let pride or embarrassment keep you from getting the help you need. The bravest thing a man can do is take care of himself, not just for his own sake, but for the people who love him and need him around for many more years to come. If this video helped you today, if it opened your eyes to something you didn't know or gave you the push you needed, please hit that subscribe button right now. We put out new videos every week focused on real health information for real people, especially those of us in the over 40, over 50, and over 60 community. Hit the like button to help this video reach more men who need to hear this message. Share it with your husband, your father, your brother, your friend, anyone you think might be struggling silently with these symptoms. And drop a comment below. Tell me, which of these signs surprised you the most, or which one hit closest to home? I read every single comment and I'd love to hear from you. Remember, your health is your greatest wealth. Take care of it, protect it, and never stop fighting for the life you deserve. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay informed, and take care of yourselves.